Hello and welcome. You're watching and listening episode 95 of the Nearly Men Video Games Podcast, coming to you live on Twitch from Scotland on Thursday, the 9th of September 2021. My name is Paul Kaczynski, and joining me this evening is Colin Little.
Ahoy, hoy.
And of course, the beautiful Blunderboy 87.
Hello.
We are the Nearly Men together, and this episode is brought to you by Hamster Boy, executive producer Hamster Boy, producer. We have nothing to do with the video games industry. We don't make them, we don't sell them, and we're not even particularly good at them. We are the Nearly Men, and at some point you've probably kicked our asses online. Now, I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. It's not fair, because I can see you two. It's not fair.
95 episodes, and that is the worst intro there has ever been.
That's because I can see Blunder, his cheeky face, waiting to do something, or waiting for somebody to trip up.
I don't have to do anything. You just start, and it sets us off.
Welcome, Blunder and Colin. How are you? It's nice to see you.
Good.
Oh, good. Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you. How's your week been? Blunder, you're back at the grind. How's it going? Is it all right?
It's tiring. Like every day in work, we've only been back for 4 weeks. It feels like we've been back for like 4 months. And like I woke up on Tuesday morning and I was like, Friday. No, Tuesday.
Oh no! Oh, that's horrible.
I mean, I think the reason I'm tired this week is I was out on Saturday night, and I'm at the age where it takes me like a week to recover from one night out. So
no sympathy.
Worth it, but my goodness, am I a tired boy?
I gave MJ Play Games into trouble when I was on her stream during the week as well.
Why? I can't give MJ Play Games into trouble. Why?
I was in being dad. I was saying you can't do that now. You're no spring chicken, MJ.
What's that?
Colin, how are you? You keep yourself busy.
I'm actually super busy at the moment, and I am feeling absolutely shattered by comparison. And I don't even have the like full-time 9-to-5 job that Blunder's got to tire out. Much like yourself, Paul, let's see their feast or famine. And at the moment, it's just mobbed. So I've hardly played any video games.
That's the problem. That's the problem. Need a job to buy video games, and then you've got no time to play video games. But as we all know, teachers, it is not a 9-to-5 job.
Cherry Bombs is going off. I'm not in the chat already. I see. Yes, I know. It was a quote unquote. It's definitely not 9-to-5. Oh dear.
You let it go, man.
Why would you say that?
Because I'm tired. I'm going to hear about that all night now. That's that.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome. We're on episode 95. Would you believe? Tonight is a very special night because we've got the PlayStation Showcase coming up as well. So we are going to be on here, and then at the end of the podcast, we're going to seamlessly transition into a wee watch along for the PlayStation Showcase, so I hope you'll stick around for that if you're watching live, and if you're not, you can watch it on the VOD on twitch.tv/TheNearlyMen. And if you want to get in touch for whatever reason, be it to tell us what colour of shirt you were wearing, what is your favourite smell, or even what video games you've been playing, here's how you can do it.
Reaching the Nearly Men is easier than ever. Search for the Nearly Men Video Games Podcast on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, or your preferred podcast player. We stream on Twitch. Follow Colin at Colin_NM. Follow Paul at Paul Kaczynski, all one word. Follow Gary at Blunderboy87. And let's get social on Facebook as The Nearly Men, Twitter and Instagram where we are at Nearly Men, or go old school and email us on info@thenearlymen.com. Need all that again? Links are on our website, thenearlymen.com. So what are you waiting for?
Drop us a line, guys. Drop us a line. We love hearing from you. And loads of people have got in touch tonight as well, which is nice. Evil Monkey got in touch, and he was asking, well, he brought up the fact that Atari video computer system is the only, this is a quote, by the way, is the only first-party gaming device that offers direct access to all of these streaming services, thanks to the power of its built-in Chrome browser PC architecture. And he asks, thoughts? So this is to do with the Wii Atari. Remember the Wii Atari thing? So you've got your mini NES and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The Atari brought out one it got delayed for about a year, I think, but then it came out this year, and basically you can play Atari games, boop, boop, Pong and all that jazz. But because of its, as it says, because its architecture, because it's built like a PC, and it's not like a specifically built thing, it's just a PC that runs this, like emulates it. It means it's open to these streaming platforms. So this Wii Atari is the first console, in inverted commas, that can play Game Pass, it can play Stadia,
PlayStation Now,
all these kind of stuff. So it's mental how this Wii thing is the first thing. There's talk of xCloud coming onto like the Switch and all that, and you can now play on desktops, all that kind of stuff. Talking about having it on TVs and things like that. But it's mental how this Wii thing that we kind of poo-pooed almost. I remember when it was announced, and we were a bit like, who's going to want that? It's going to be a very niche person that's going to want to play these Atari games.
I don't know if we poo-pooed it. The issue was it's pretty expensive, if I remember correctly.
For
it's over £100.
Yeah,
that's what was more the thing that that bothered us. Yeah, but I mean, it's quite interesting that.
Aren't you gonna have to not gut it out? I don't know how these things work, but to make it do all that, you'd have to jailbreak it essentially to make it do those things.
Well, I don't know the ins and outs. I don't know the ins and outs, but it might just be a wee bypass of its startup, and that's it.
It's I mean, bear in mind, because it's a streaming service. I mean, you would probably have to download the app, but I assume it's got some memory on board that you could save certain apps on. I guess if you wanted. But why would you want to watch Netflix on an old Atari, for instance?
It's like theoretically it would work, but practically, is it?
Well, I think what it's doing, like with the instance of like xCloud and all that jazz, it's playing it through the browser, so it's the same as playing it on a desktop.
So you wouldn't need to download the app. Then you're
just using the browser. But it's interesting how this wee tiny thing has became the kind of first one to have everything.
Can you imagine playing like Sea of Thieves or Gears of War with a wee joystick?
Yeah, Gears of War actually. I think. So actually, that was good. Thanks, Demon Monkey, for bringing that up.
I mean, it's pretty cool. I think this is the way things are going because there's already and it'll be interesting to see if there's anything tonight from Sony about this. But I think that potentially Sony are also going to be working towards streaming and cloud games as well. So potentially, could people that have a PS4 or a PS4 Pro in there, could they potentially start getting more games streamed? Could they start being able to, maybe through some sort of premium PS Now subscription, could they end up streaming PS5 games or something? It'd be interesting to see. Sony paid a lot of money for the Gaikai server, which essentially is what PS Now's on. That was the start of the last gen. Sony spent a fortune on that, like millions and millions. I think it was like several hundred million they spent on Gaikai, and it was supposed to be the big future. And funnily enough, it seems to be now Microsoft are further ahead than they are, and PlayStation Now is not really quite what it could have been. But it'll be interesting to see whether Sony's got any plans for it and whether there's going to be any more announcements to it.
Interesting. It definitely seems like the way people want to go. As we've experienced with xCloud, it's not quite 100% there, but it's better than it was.
Well, I think the thing as well is that there's already rumours that there's a PS5 Pro in development, which is insane because like the majority of folk who want a PS5 can't even get one at the moment. So it'd be mental if they're. But I think part of that is because they're potentially trying to make a new one with less hard to get parts potentially. But this might be the easiest way around, having to make almost modular changes to consoles to keep up with the way that things go. And if you can start streaming stuff, then you maybe buy one console every 10 years or whatever, and you just get on that subscription model. But
if that's the case, it needs to work better. If that's the case,
absolutely, and it's still going to be affected by infrastructure. Because I know poor Paolo's already you're already concerned about Wi-Fi and your potential internet in the soon to be new house.
Yeah.
we don't have ultra super fast broadband everywhere. We just don't. And one day it might well be the case, but this is a long, long way down the line before. There's parts of Scotland which barely have anything. I mean, they're not quite on dial-up, but there are areas that don't have broadband and need satellite or something like that to use. So yeah, streaming may well be the future at some point, but it's not there yet, and it's not going to be there for a while yet. So yeah, it's not.
Have you
But
delved
it could be
into
interesting.
streaming games at all, Blinder? Have you delved into streaming games at all?
I had PS Now for a little bit. It worked fine. But I kind of, as much as I've moved away from wanting to own discs, I still like to be able to download the game so I know it's on my console waiting for me to play. Streaming still makes me be a wee bit hesitant because I'm like, well, if my internet goes down or the phone lines go down, I'm always like, I don't have access to my stuff.
Yeah.
So I still like having like the option to have it stored on my console or PC.
PlayStation Now works really well. So far I found PlayStation Now works better than xCloud streaming.
And
but
I
then
was
again, I've
streaming
only tried
PS Now.
xCloud streaming on my phone. It didn't work very well on the phone.
So I was like technically like streaming the game to my console and streaming it back to Twitch, and it was fine. But I mean, because it was a PS2 game, it was like Silent. I think it was the Silent Hill remaster on Silent Hill on the PSD, so it wasn't exactly doing
but
a lot of information.
would
But again, I don't know how it works.
hugely affect it. Would it?
Yeah,
I mean,
don't know.
you're streaming an image. You're not actually streaming. So, regardless of how interesting the image is, I assume that even if it's a PS2 game, it's still streaming you in 1080p or whatever the actual image is, or 1080p or maybe 4K or whatever. So, I can't imagine that the size of the game would hugely differ. I guess it's more about frame rates and stuff like that. That would be more of the issue, frame rates and but yeah, I don't know. I guess we're still a bit traditionalists. We'd prefer to have the game if we could, but I do think certainly Xbox's model, and that's why I do sort of anticipate that Sony will probably aim to try and get that way themselves at some point. Is a good idea. I mean, I think if people, if folk can, with a Game Pass Ultimate subscription, or even if they put the price up or they had an extra tier or something like that for people on Xbox One, where they could stream all the brand new Xbox games and not have to buy a new console, then it might, depend on how much it costs per month, then they might be able to do it, or whether they just bundle it in with Game Pass Ultimate. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, who knows? It could be the future. I'm a bit like yourself. I quite like having it ready to go when I want it, whether there's internet or not. But I get that things have to move on. So,
good question from Evil Monkey, though.
Indeed. I'm going to put my sad hat on, which we don't often do in the Nearly Men podcast. But Colin pulled this, and I think it was worthwhile flagging up. The developer behind God of War's incredible Leviathan axe has sadly passed away. This is from Liam Croft from Push Square that we're reading. And he says, George Moll, a former gameplay engineer at Sony Santa Monica studio who's credited with the handling behind God of War's Leviathan axe and Blades of Chaos, sadly passed away last Thursday. Tributes have been paid across social media since, with combat design lead Mihir Sheth crediting him with playing a large part in the engineering behind the feel of the two iconic weapons. And he says, at SMS, he worked on Kratos' weaponry, navigation, RPG systems, a myriad of combat behaviours, improvements to the scripting system to empower designs, and so much more. He was a veteran on the team who played a huge role in closing out the game and squashing bugs. George picked up the nickname Furious George thanks to his commitment to seeing an idea through to fruition. As Sheth explains how he would pursue side projects in cooking, carpentry, and homemade movies. It appears George considered God of War the peak of his working career, as Sheth explains how he never thought he'd work on a game and feature so beloved in his career of ups and downs. He would repeat this out of the blue 2 years after. We did alright, didn't we? George's career in game development spanned more than 20 years, but left Sony Santa Monica studio some months ago. Alongside God of War, he also worked on Yeba Ninja Gaiden Z, Prototype 2, Crash of the Titans, and Scarface: The World Is Yours, among others. So sadly, George Moll passed away last Thursday. God of War is a big game for you, Colin.
Do you know what? I think he should rightly consider God of War the peak of his career. That is one of the great. It genuinely is one of the best games ever made for my money. It was my game of the year for 2018. Was it my game of the decade? Can't remember now.
It was up
certainly
there
should
anyway.
be. It was right up there. I think it's an absolutely sensational game, and I do think that the Leviathan Axe is one of the best weapons in a video game. It just feels fabulous to use. It's so adaptable, and it's very much like Mjolnir or Captain America's shield in the Marvel films. You're not unfamiliar with how it works, but just the joy of using it is just fabulous. And yeah, just to do that. And then the interesting thing is, and of course this is minor spoilers for God of War, but I think the majority of folk have probably played it by now. The game came out 3 years ago, but nobody knew whether the Blades of Chaos, which is Kratos's sort of famous original weapons, we didn't really know if they were going to turn up, and none of the trailers, none of the pre-release stuff, nobody saw the Blades of Chaos. It was all about the Leviathan Axe. We didn't even know they were coming, and for them to then arrive mid-game and to be completely reborn, and for it to feel like anyone that played all the God of Wars as I did, to feel like you're kind of reacquainted with an old friend, but it doesn't feel, the Leviathan Axe feels so good. There's a danger that the Blades of Chaos would feel crap by comparison.
Yeah.
And they don't. They feel brilliant as well. And it's just a testament to the attention to detail, the love that went into that game, and yeah, just the hard work of people like George. So really sad news, and rest in peace.
Indeed. No more can be said, I think. Beautifully put, sir. Right, Cozy's Crumbs for you. Cozy's Crumbs. Football Manager 2022 is going to be released on November the 9th, which is no surprise. New season, new Football Manager. The big surprise is it's a Game Pass day one. A Game Pass day one. So if you are a Football Manager fan, get your teeth right around that. Spider-Man will finally be available this winter for PlayStation players for Marvel's Avengers. Is that what it's called? I can't even remember.
Yep.
A game that I was super excited about, and I keep playing and going, it's alright. And I keep wanting to get back into it, but never can. But Spider-Man's finally coming this winter. They've been promising for a year. As well as is going to be the first raid of the game as part of the Wakanda theme, I think.
That might bring us back.
Yeah.
That might bring.
I think you battle Claw in a raid, and that's for all players at all. And some downside news is Flight Sim's Top Gun expansion is delayed due to the movie Top Gun Maverick being delayed to next May. So we won't see the Flight Sim Top Gun stuff till May 2022, which is a shame. I was looking forward to landing on a helicarrier.
Is there any kind of confirmation either way about whether it's been delayed with just how long Maverick and his Zimmer is taking to get into the cockpit?
Don't speak ill of Tom Cruise. He'll come and get you in your dreams. Tom Cruise is the modern Freddy Krueger, mate.
Just jumping over sofas.
Yeah,
jumping over sofas.
Sleeping in your bath.
Bonkers.
Sleeping in your bath with water in it. He's trained himself to hold his breath for 4 hours until you get up for a pee.
That wouldn't surprise me. Yeah.
Listen, Blunder.
What?
You're not getting to speak much tonight. I've noticed. No. I did say before we went live I'm not saying anything, so I'm making sure you're still here. Still part of this, mate.
Well, I'm not a Top Gun fan, so I'm not upset.
Blunder, blink if you need rescued.
I don't know Morse code, so I'm just going to do it rapid style.
I know.
No, I am excited about Spider-Man Come to Avengers, but I don't know if it's just a little bit too late for
Too late
a
to
lot
the
of
party.
folk, but we'll see.
Will he have the moveset from the Sony Spider-Man games?
No.
I think that would break the coding.
Yeah.
Like suddenly, you're suddenly like, oh my god, this guy controls so much better than all the other characters in this game.
It's
To be fair,
alright.
Captain America is really satisfying.
Aye.
Smacking people with that shield.
I quite like being the Hulk and
And
just
Black
smashing
Widow's
things.
good as well, but I like fast, jabby characters. So like Black Widow in America are my type because they're fast and nimble. Like
liked
when
Captain
you're like
America.
slow and stodgy, I'm like, do something fast.
I quite like Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel's quite cool.
She was alright.
Booting
I mean,
people
you're
and
made
all
to
that.
play her like quite a lot, so you've got
Aye.
to kind of get into her.
I know. I wasn't.
I
I don't
can't
know.
control Iron Man for the life of me. Don't ask me to
The-
fly as Iron Man.
The flying stuff's a bit.
It's Iron
he's-
Man.
Iron
he's
Man's
Iron
got-
Man.
Is it? It's not Phil Ironman.
Oh.
Yeah. Iron Man's got this horrible thing of where you're just sitting there going, click options, invert.
Is it invert?
Wait. No, options, uninvert. Options, PlayStation button, delete game.
I've still not played it in my PS5 because every time I try and like do it, it doesn't find my save file from my other game, and I'm like, I'm not playing the whole game again.
Do you mean you've downloaded 103 gigabytes and you can't even play it?
Like, well, yeah, I deleted it and then I did it again, deleted it again. So I just try it a third time. If I
You
feel
just
like
need to log in on your PS4, I think, and
yeah.
update to cloud storage.
Right,
or
I'll do that.
Update your save, because that's what I did
They
for
make
Ghost of
stuff
Tsushima.
so. Well, my Ghost of Tsushima one was dead simple, and I was like,
It
I didn't
worked
even
really
do
well.
that. It just
Yeah.
did it automatically. It was smart. Marvel was like, I don't understand what you want me to do.
I
was
had
like,
preempted
you
it.
do.
'Cause saw somebody on Twitter saying they were having difficulty with Ghost of Tsushima, so I went, "Oh right, I'll put it on a cloud save," and then it was dead easy anyway. So I don't know whether the person that was having problems was doing it like pre-release and maybe day one patch
Maybe.
fixed it. As well. I don't
Maybe.
know.
Mhm.
Do you know what I want?
What do you want?
I want some Colin Little's little trivia.
Oh yeah.
We need to get a jingle for that.
Yep.
Mhm.
Go,
That's what-
Blunder, go.
That's what I want to do. It.
Oh no.
It's not-
He's little and he's mad. He's little and he's snarky, but sometimes he's funny. It's Little's little trivia time. I don't know.
Bravissimo!
I'm quite offended, but he did say sometimes he's funny, so I'll go with that. I'll do. Sometimes he's funny. So yeah, I've got some Colin Little's little trivia for you. Okay, here we go. Violent pedestrian squishing racer Carmageddon. Remember that? Remember Carmageddon?
Oh, yeah.
Was only allowed to be released in the UK with zombies instead of people roaming the streets.
What?
Boo. In the Indian version, the cows were removed and it was banned altogether in Germany.
Mhm.
Oh, because
There
cows
we
are very
are.
sacred in India, aren't they?
They
Yeah.
are. They
Oh,
are
yeah,
indeed.
yeah.
So you can't run over cows.
No.
And somehow, I can't remember which part of when in the UK people were sacred, but apparently they were at one point. Because people don't care about people in this country anymore. More, the establishment don't. Yeah, I loved Armageddon, to be honest, but I remember how rubbish it was that there were zombies. That was pish. I wanted to run over people. Anyway, that probably says more about me than I should have admitted. In the first Fallout, if you created your own character with less than 4 intelligence, you couldn't converse with anyone. You could the only dialogue options open were various grunts or guttural noises, which made the game insanely difficult to finish. But I am led to believe that if you had less than 4 points of intelligence, you still got a job in the cabinet and a place in the House of Lords.
A little bit of politics,
There we are. Stick to the games, Colin. The damsel in distress that Mario rescues in the original Donkey Kong is called Pauline. In Japanese version, she is known simply as Lady.
Is this
And
what's
there we go,
now known
that's
as
your-
Princess Peach?
No, it's
Well,
not.
no, but I think a lot of people think that she is
Oh,
Princess
yeah?
Peach.
She is in the Mario game that came out in the Switch with the hats. When you get to a big city level, and she
You mean
sings a song, and
New Donk City.
Mm.
And that's what it's called in Mario Odyssey. Is that the one?
Is that what it's called? Yeah.
Mario with the
So
Hog.
when you get
with
there,
It's not.
and
Is
you're
it?
running through the city, and you're jumping on, and she's singing in the background. There's fireworks, and she's got a big red hat, and so that's Pauline. So that's
it's
her.
genuinely called New Donk City, which I love.
What are you gonna
New
do?
Donk City Limits.
New
But,
Donk City Limits.
So yeah, that's Pauline. She made her comeback and got a wee song and stuff like that.
There we
Ah,
are.
there you go. There you
So there you go. That was your Colin. That was little trivia.
Thanks, Colin. Colin, have you got Game Pass?
Yes, I think you know I do.
Blunder, have you got Game Pass?
Yeah.
Do you want to find out what's coming in September?
Always.
Very little. Here we go. Recently, you've got on the 7th of September, Crown Trick for console, PC, and cloud. Today, the 9th, you're getting The Artful Escape on console, PC, and cloud. Breath Edge for console and PC, and Nuclear Throne for console and PC. 16th of September, you get I Am Fish for console and PC, and Skatebird for console. 17th of September, Origami 2 for console and PC. 23rd of September, Sable for console and PC. 28th of September, Lemnis Gate, console, PC, and cloud. And for the 30th of September, Astria Ascending, console and PC. Now, you know what they're like, though. You know what they're like. They'll turn around on the 10th of September and they'll go, oh, by the way, on the 14th, like, you know, Bloodborne 2's coming.
You can go home.
Do you know what they're always like that? They throw out games throughout the whole weeks, the months.
Yeah, they won't get Bloodborne though.
The thing to remember is Stardew Valley is coming in the autumn. They've still not given it a date. But
just in case you haven't got Stardew Valley on 4 different platforms already.
Well, I've only got it in Switch, and Blunderboy shouts at me because I've only got it in Switch. So if that comes to Game Pass, I'll be able to play in the community farm.
Yes, you will.
Do you know what I mean?
There you are. If you can get in without having to break down people's houses just to let you in.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I think September is quite a low key month because of what October, November, and December are going to bring. So October, you're getting like Age of Empires 4, which is a big release for them.
Yeah, there's nothing good until Billy Joe Armstrong wakes up. Yes,
September
that was
ends.
a Green Day.
September
that was a Green Day reference.
I've got you.
That was.
I'm
Green
cool.
Day reference.
I got it. I'm cool.
Blunder didn't get it. Look at that.
No,
Look at
I
that.
got it.
Blunder.
I was singing it in my head, and I was like,
"Here, like that," and you didn't get the Green Day reference. You're a plastic.
I was trying to figure out how I could fit singing that in, but I don't know the names of the singer. They had one good album in the late 90s, early 90s.
Controversial. Blink-182 were better.
So yeah, in October, Age of Empires is coming. November, I think Forza's coming, and then December, Halo's coming. So there's big games.
But
coming
only
soon.
half a Halo.
Only half a Halo.
Only like a third of Halo, really. There's no co-op and no multiplayer, but some of Halo's.
No,
coming.
it is the multiplayer. I think it's the multiplayer.
No, it's
coming.
not. It's the single player, but no co-op campaign or multiplayer. Is that
I thought the multiplayer was coming. No.
Well, did they not say it was coming
No.
without like the furnace or something, whatever they called it? Is that not the multiplayer?
That's to make
Crucible
maps and
or
stuff or something. No, that's to kind of custom stuff.
So okay.
So I think the normal multiplayer is going to be there. I can't see them releasing it. Don't start me on a Halo rant again.
Right, okay. Half the game's coming. Half the game's coming. Stand down, Xboxers. Stand down.
Right, Blunderboy, get your jingle ready, cause it's the subbies.
Subbies.
It's getting a wee bit less oomph every month now.
Every
I'm-
month.
We're gonna have to record them soon.
I'll record it. I'll write words and record it, and then you'll have like a 3.5 minute introduction piece.
Your games with gold, people! From August the 16th to September the 15th, you're getting Yooka-Laylee. September 1st to the 30th, Warhammer Chaos Bane.
Ooh.
September 1st to 15th, Zone of Enders HD Collection. September 16th to the 30th, Samurai Showdown 2.
So glad you didn't do a voice for that.
I didn't, I stopped myself. September 16th, October 15th, you're getting Mulaka. Over the PS Plus side of town, as Colin always likes to say. You're getting Overcooked. All you can eat on the PS5.
Laughing at his own jokes.
Because I wait for it every time you're hosting. I wait for that on the PlayStation side of town.
Called showbiz, mate. It's called sprinkling a wee bit of star quality.
Pizzazz. Wee bit of Salt Bay. Overcooked, all you can eat. You're getting both the Overcooked games plus a whole host of kind of DLC and all that jazz. You're also getting Hitman 2 for the PS4, and you're also getting Predator Hunting Grounds for the PS4. That ultimate play, the ultimate play? What? What's I can't remember the word. What's the word?
Are you okay?
I don't know if you had a
What
stroke.
are you talking about?
I'm aware of time. Time's short. That's just somebody's asymmetrical. That's the word I was trying to say. The asymmetrical.
Right.
So before you move on, so now the people who made Predator Hunting Grounds made the Friday the 13th game, and that's two major franchises that they've had and then bombed the games for. One not with one kind of out of their control, when the second one they kind of went, here's a game and ditched it. Rumor is that they've just got the license to Texas Chainsaw Massacre type game of the same type as well. And I'm like, who keeps giving them the rights to these big franchises?
There was a rumor. Kicking about the Aliens franchise as well. They were going to do a similar thing with Aliens.
Yeah, but I think then it went to Fireteam.
Oh, is that what that became?
Yeah, but I think a different studio. I think it was kind of all that was something there at that time. But yeah, so it was Baker Boy who was saying actually about it, and I was like, stop giving this company big name games.
I don't think they're neither of them are particularly. The Friday the 13th thing was a very small company who were hit quite hard with a number of issues, and then obviously the whole law legal thing happened, and that killed that game. Predator Hunting Grounds, I don't know what happened with that. I mean, I reckon a lot of folk will jump in now, and hopefully if they can keep at it, hopefully they've fixed the bugs. I mean, I enjoyed Predator Hunting.
I mean, to be fair, we've not played it in a long time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it could be.
But that's what I mean, because nothing kind of happens with it. They went, ooh, and then a few months later went, and then like, nah.
It's a two-way street though, Blunder Boy. You've got to play their game to make them want to do stuff with it.
You've got to want me to come back and be interested. Give me something.
But they had a really rocky start. If they didn't have a rocky start, I think they would have been a bit better. But too many people just went, this is too much work. This is because remember, they messed up all the cross-play stuff, they messed up all the parties, all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
So, if you're not, I'm with you, Blunder. I'm with you. I'm play devil's advocate, mate.
Nah.
Right. What we playing? What have we been playing? Let
None.
me hear your games. You want to say anything about Ghost of Tsushima, Colin?
Well, I'll just say a wee bit. I jumped into Ghost of I've hardly played anything this week because I've been working away, but I jumped back into Ghost of Tsushima last night, playing a little bit more of it on PS5. Of course, very kindly, we were sent codes by from Sony. God, it's bloody beautiful. The story of the Iki Island expansion is excellent. Excuse me.
Good.
And I'm just really enjoying it. It's just fabulous. It really is fabulous. The director's cut's really well done. And it really is. It's a game. It's funny because I've saw a lot of folk who on Twitter who jumped back into the game, who weren't wowed by it the first time, and I've really kind of fallen in love with it. And I said to a few of them, I was like, you just need to get past the first act. I don't know why the first act just felt like it dragged for me, and then once you get into that second act, it just really takes on it just gathers a pace, and it's just fabulous from then on. And it's not to say that the first act's rubbish by any point. It's just not particularly.
It's a bit slow.
Yes, it is slow, and at that point, it doesn't feel particularly new. It's very pretty. It's very pretty the whole way through, but it doesn't feel particularly interesting. But as people say, it probably is the best Assassin's Creed game. That's not an Assassin's Creed game. I just really, really like it, and I'm really enjoying the story, and I'm already like, I'll be sad when there's no more Ghost of Tsushima to do.
I know. I don't think I'm spoiling anything by saying this, but Blunderboy, I think you'll like it because it's not fantastical, but it's not
spooky though.
It's not on the level. It's not on the ground. If you know what I mean.
What I guess from the little bit I've played, it does have that mystical element. Like I've done like I've done a good wee chunk of the like first bit of the island, and there's a whole bit. And I was like, ooh, shadows, ooh, running, ooh,
and it's got a bit of sort of
Yeah.
Arkham sort of
Yes.
way that the Arkham games sort of like blend reality and
Arkham.
yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I really like it.
You've just flashed back. I mean, like I've literally had a flashback looking at your face as you said that there. Of the, I'm not going to spoil it, but the ending of Batman VR. If you've played Batman VR,
what do you mean? What
like the ending of it? What you do in the end?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've played it, you know. If you don't play it, you'll find out it's worth it. But a total flashback there. That didn't like that. Right.
Anyway, apart from that, some Sea of Thieves. I'm just waiting for the new season to start. This 100 gems for an eye patch is just trash. Not thrilled about that.
Oh, it's a great request.
It's just I don't mind. I quite like the idea of collecting lots of gems and selling them out. I just wish there was something better than an eye patch for it. Nobody. I don't even use. Do I? Well, maybe I do have an eye patch on my. Anyway, it looks. It's just stupid. It's just stupid.
You do have an eye patch.
I do.
But just it suits you. It's a green one. It matches your outfit.
I am not convinced I want a big blingy one for 100 gems. I'm not going to have time to do 100 gems.
100
just not
gems, man. I mean, I've streamed it twice, I think, this week. At least twice. And I've got, like, 5 gems.
Is that the mermaid gems?
It's just no.
Aye.
It's just no happening.
Mermaid gems, aye. Blunder! Tell us about Surgeon Sim.
Oh, my Grey's Anatomy fantasy finally came true. It was very funny. And then it got really serious. Like, so I'd never played the first one, and then the new one came out, and it was a very rocky start because we couldn't get it to work until like 15 minutes before the podcast, until the multiplayer last week, and then it worked. I like the fact there's a sort of storyline behind it. So the way it works for those who don't play it is you're like these trainee surgeons in this trainee surgeon hospital, and you're trying to solve. Like you're being taught how to be a surgeon, but then there's like this shady backstory. But it is one of the most difficult things to control, and I don't think it'd be any easier on a PC. I think it's just as tricky on a mouse and keyboard as it is a joypad. But like, try to crack the ribs as if you're watching.
This is utterly horrific. I'm just watching you guys
get the angle and the weight to crack the ribs. It was so funny, and then we like the first couple of ones were a wee bit having fun, and then we get really into the zone and the series, and we had like you actually have to like plan what you're doing and time it, and it was good. It was a lot of fun, really silly, really daft. The physics were a lot of fun. Trying to saw people's arms off is one of the hardest things ever.
Those scrubs look non-regulation, by the way.
Well, yeah, at least I look like a doctor. Do you know what I mean? They might be for the 1600s, but you know.
I was a Doctor of Love from the 60s.
Doctor of Love.
But no, it's like so. Like, try not to accidentally snag other body bits. There's that point we kept ripping their legs and arms off by accident, not knowing how. And we'd almost finish one of the bodies, and next minute there was an arm and a leg off, and I was like, "Who did that?" I was like, "Not me." I was like, "Well, there's no one else in the room." So it was very funny, and then the story get really interesting. And we stopped at like a plot twist moment. Actually,
I was pleasantly surprised by the fact there was a story.
Know there was a story.
It was good. It was good.
You end up having to go through the vents, and someone's trying to lead you into a secret bit of the hospital.
And then a story about medical malpractice. Because
well, it might be. It sounds like it.
There's some damning evidence that I can see right here.
And yeah, poor Bob. All the Bobs you have to operate on, or as we were calling him, Colin.
Oh, that's right. It was me.
Yeah, that's you.
Dying
on
the
operating table. But no, it was a lot of fun, a lot of daftness. It'd be funny to play with 3 people. I wonder if it adapts the levels to the more people that play. Because after the builds, I was thinking about it the next day. I was thinking about it, and I was like, I don't know how easy that would have been if it had just been me myself. For like the one where we were passing the limbs through the hole in the wall. I don't know how you would do that yourself.
Do you think you get more time? Maybe do you think it bleeds out?
I think maybe it bleeds out. So it'd be interesting to kind of like get Colin in, or even like a fourth person to try and see how it actually works.
We could be hotshot ER people.
George Clooney.
Damn it, man! I'm a doctor, not a. I don't know. I couldn't think.
We left you hanging, Colin. If we're honest,
I know.
I was looking at Paul try to break those ribs again, and I was like, "What did Paul get good at?" And I was like, "He didn't get good at much."
No,
well, he can't even. He doesn't even know how to hold a hammer.
It's so tricky.
It is.
It's like, and we were saying on stream, it feels like it's wrong. It feels like you go the wrong way.
Yeah,
So,
and then you think you've got it, and you put it down, you pick up a new instrument, and it's back to the start. You're like, wait, how do my hands work? What's going on? Why am I doing things they should?
Paolo, you just hit him right in the ghoulies there. That's not good.
I'm about to puncture his arm as well.
Yeah, we also discovered that the easiest place to inject them with blood stopping medicine and more blood is the groin, because nothing falls off if you stick them there. I went to give him a blood top up and stuck it in his head and ripped his head off. I was like, oh!
What, did his whole head come off on the needle?
Yeah, I flew across the room. I was running with my wee arm outstretched trying to get the arm, and the head was rolling around. It's like, come back, and then the head starts to go like change colour because of blood loss and all that. I was like, ah!
I see a lot of love in the chat for Sherry Bobbins calling you McDreamies. And Mish Mallow says, "Can you all please recreate episodes of Grey's Anatomy in game?" I mean, we'd have to do
the pick me, choose me, love me scene. That'd be good.
I haven't seen Grey's Anatomy. I don't know that.
I had to hold Blunderboy back from going full Grey's Anatomy on me.
Is that right?
Aye.
Apparently, there was an episode where a guy had a bomb in his bum.
It's in his stomach.
Oh, okay.
It's very good. Christina Ricci's in that episode. It's a very good episode.
Oh, that's Wednesday Addams.
Look at you all chuffed with yourself by saying the phrase bomb in his bum.
Well, I mainly know that because Jake Peralta mentioned that in an episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and I turned to Sherry Bob and went, "Is that true?" She went, I was like, why haven't I seen this?
It actually says it's something the early men would do. Basically, he's a Civil War reenactor, and him and his pals make up an IED, and they shoot him by accident, and it penetrates his body and gets stuck in there. And then it's an active device, so they like get a bomb squad and all that, and it sounds like something YouTube would do by accident.
Why was a Civil War reenactor get an IED?
Exactly.
Because a cannon, like they want to fire cannonballs, but they have anything they make.
Right.
And they take the cannon, and they blow the cannon, and it hits them, and it like goes inside, bursts into him, and then like Christina Ricci puts her hand in, and then they're like, "You can't take your hand out because you're the only thing stopping them from blowing up."
Oh man!
And then they get to the hospital, and then she has a panic attack, and she pulls her hand out, and you think everyone's going to die, and Meredith puts her hand in instead, and then there's the whole drama of why is Meredith trying to like get herself blown up.
Stories next week on Grey's Anatomy recap.
This is the Grey's Anatomy podcast.
Listen,
anyway, we've got a live Sony show soon, so that's enough of that.
Do you want to hear what the listeners and viewers have been playing?
Yes,
of course you do. Martin YNWA has said he's been playing some old school Bomberman this week. Bomberman, classic. Dancing Toaster says, I've actually been playing Red Dead Online, punching people by accident, and played a wee bit of that tennis court too. So I think that's in relation to him. He messaged me saying he took a bounty mission, and then tried to get on his horse, but he pressed the wrong button, so he punched the guy standing next to the bounty and just started a big fight.
And he didn't have the Nearly Men to come in and save his bacon.
Exactly, remember that. Right. Hamster Boy was in touch saying, would you believe I've just started The Last of Us Part 2? And have managed to avoid all spoilers somehow. Good on you.
Well done.
That's because you didn't listen to our spoiler cast, Mr. Producer.
Oh, you wouldn't?
Well, that's true.
Bry22 has been playing Humankind. Oh, I wouldn't mind knowing how that is, Bry. Phasmophobia and Broken Sword, plus some Solitaire, and a variation of Minesweeper. There you go. Old school. At Jamesy42 on Twitter has been saying Sea of Thieves and Football Manager 2021 are the main ones. A few wee Game Pass ones like Art of Rally and Lonely Mountains Downhill. Good wee games that pass the time. Love Game Pass for that. That's a beauty of Game Pass, man. The games never stop. MJ play games. What does MJ do?
Great
Play
games.
She's been attached. She's been back into Bloodborne and Breath of the Wild just now.
Bloodborne.
Oh, for goodness sake. Just got the Zelda bug again as well, she says. My days. Odentior played and finished a really beautiful puzzle platformer called Omno. Am I saying that right?
No.
It's on Game Pass and Steam and has one of the most wonderful game soundtracks ever. Only took about 7 hours to complete the whole thing, but it's 7 hours of your life you'll very much enjoy.
Nice.
Good to know, Audie. Social Scruffy was in touch on Twitter saying Psychonauts 2 was psychedelic, man. New SnowRunner content. He's been playing SnowRunner. Oh, I mean, he's a full-time SnowRunner streamer at the moment. Aliens Fireteam Elite is loads of fun, he says. Don't tempt us, Scruffy. Some Forza Horizon 4 to get ready for 5. A little bit of Sea of Thieves, which reminds me, I need to finish the Plunder Pass.
Ooh.
2 weeks
Not
left.
too much time left.
2
A
weeks
couple of weeks, yeah.
Tommy B298 says Red Dead and a cheeky bit of Aliens Fireteam. Oh, he's bought it.
Oh.
We were both watching Scruffy as he was playing it, and he had it in his checkout for like an hour. So there you go.
I've been there.
Plunder, you've never had anything sitting at checkout for an hour.
Sometimes I do for like 7 minutes.
Original Stephen 1 on Twitter was saying he's playing loads of Dark Souls 2 and Bloodborne. Open for Bloodborne 2 on the PlayStation showcase tonight. Bloodborne.
No, just Bloodborne. Bloodborne. Not Bloodborne.
Do I know your new releases?
It's not Matt Damon
Can I mute him?
covered in blood.
Can I mute him?
Yep.
The Bloodborne supremacy.
It's Jason Bourne. That's his name. It's not
I
Jason
know.
Bourne.
I know, but Bourne in the
Star.
Bourne films has got a U in the middle. It's got
Star.
a U in the middle. That's Bourne. Bloodborne.
Coming out, ladies and gentlemen, you're getting Chernobylite
dear.
on PS4 on the 10th. Also,
That's exciting.
you're getting 10th, you're getting Big Rumble Boxing, Creed Champions, WarioWare Get It Together, Tales of Arise, NBA 2K22, and Life is Strange True Colours. I see your true colours. On the 14th, you're getting Deathloop. Finally.
F and G.
Finally. Blunderboy says he feels like he's been in a Deathloop.
Yeah.
By the way, all the previews are just raving about it. I just think it's going to be fabulous. I just need it in my life.
There it was. On the 15th, you're getting Merrick's Market. On the 16th, Panda Hero Remastered, Game Deck, 3D Mini Golf, 3D Billiards, Pool and Snooker, Animal Kart Racer is coming on the 16th as well. On the 17th, you're getting Ni no Kuni 2, Revenant Kingdom Princess Edition, Origami 2, that's coming to Game Pass, remember, on the 17th. On the 21st, World War Z Aftermath. Is that a sequel? Or a DLC?
Oh.
I think it may be a DLC.
On the 23rd, you're getting Diablo 2 Resurrected.
That's cool.
And
That's
24th,
so cool.
you're getting Dragon Ball Z, Kakarot, and a New Power Awakened set on the Switch. And on 24th as well, you're getting Lost Judgment for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X and S. And that's your new releases. There you go.
Well done.
What's happening in the chat that's caught your eye, ladies and gentlemen?
The lovely Kim H. Smith's watching us live from the hospital, so I hope you're doing okay, Kim. I hope you're feeling better, pal.
We spread our love to you, my dear.
Yeah, absolutely. What else did we see? I did see Baker Boy. Baker Boy said words to the effect of, oh, here we go. If they can pull off a Friday the 13th style with Texas Chainsaw, I'll be happy. R.I.P. F13.
So Baker Boy wanted me to say thank you to Hamster Boy
Oh.
for the PS5 code, because Baker Boy now has a PS5 on the
Baker Boy
way.
gets it.
Yeah.
Hamster
Happy
Boy,
days.
you look at that. The Hamster Boy and the Baker Boy coming together in some sort of boy alliance.
Hamster Bake Boy.
Hamster bake, yeah.
And now they
Oh
both
no,
have...
I just see like a pasta bake now, but it's like a hamster.
Yeah, I seen Greg's new hit meal.
Hamster Bake Boy.
Good Lord.
Well, congratulations to Baker Boy, and that was so cool of Hamster Boy as well.
Indeed.
And that's a reason, folks. That is a reason to be in the Nearly Men Discord if you aren't already. Hamster Boy had a spare code going to order a PlayStation 5. He didn't need it. He whacked it in the Discord, and Baker Boy now has a PS5. So if you're not in the Discord, join the Discord.
Get in there, pull your covers up and snuggle in.
That's so cool. That's so cool. I see Yuzi saying that Chernobylite is cool.
Yeah, I can't wait to try it. I've
He's
been
been
waiting
talking
for
to me
it.
about that before. I do quite fancy it.
I thought it came out on the 9th of October, not the 10th of September, because dates.
Right.
A huge thank you as well to the lovely Arcade Glasgow who raided in mid chat. They're back in business. They're back. The shop is open. I have been to the newly refurbed arcade, and it is fabulous. It's looking great. The Andrew and Mish and the whole team have got the whole COVID sort of rules and regulations sorted. It's really cool, really friendly, feels really safe in there as well. And it's just a
That's
fabulous
awesome.
place. I can't wait to go back. And you all need to get online and book yourself an arcade pass and get along and play some games in the wonderful arcade.
Amen. Amen. Gentlemen, are you streaming in the next coming days? Blunderboy, you managed to squeeze it in, or are you done?
I have no idea.
He's
I'll
done.
be winging a prayer. If I'm there, I'm there. If I'm not,
He's out.
I'd be disappointed.
He's working. He's teaching the future.
I'm teaching something.
Colin, are you managed to squeeze it on YouTube jam-packed as well?
Yeah, no, I'm going to be on tomorrow. I might, and I'm disgusted. I'm actually going to put this on record in the hope that it might make me actually do it.
Oh.
I might go to the gym tomorrow morning.
Are you going to stream the gym?
No, I won't stream the gym. That's a bit much.
All right.
No, nobody wants to see that. It would just be me like Brando in Apocalypse Now. Yeah. So after I've been to the gym, probably, but yeah, around about my usual time. So sort of like midday, hopefully. I'll probably jump in the Sea of Thieves and do something because I don't have my other OBS. I've moved over to OBS and it's a brave new world, but I've got sort of like 2 scene collections, and one's for like my pirated games and one's for my other games, and I've only got the pirated game set up, so I think it'll be Sea of Thieves.
There you go. Excellent. So join Colin tomorrow. I'll be on tomorrow as well at 2 p.m. All going well. I'm moving house next week. This is the last podcast in this house.
No.
This is when it started.
Hug the walls.
So I'm moving next week. So I'm going to stream on Monday night, and then I'm going to stop for at least a week while I move house, basically. So I'll be off for a week. But I'll be streaming
Kaczynskilus World.
Friday, Sunday social, Monday night. That'll be me.
Oh yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to cover the PlayStation Showcase. So if you're watching live, please stick around. We're not going to raid at this point. We're going to come back and we're going to watch the PlayStation Showcase together. If you're watching on a VOD or you're listening onto the podcast, then please jump on either our Twitch channel or YouTube channels, and you'll be able to get a VOD of the PlayStation Showcase if you want to watch it with us. Anything else to say, gentlemen, before we sign off from the podcast and put our different hats on?
Nope, nothing.
No words of wisdom, no.
No, you've caught me kind of cold. I'm just super excited. But we haven't really discussed. I guess we'll do a bit of that once we get in. But I'm kind of hoping that we're going to see some exciting new stuff for Sony. I would love to see some God of War Ragnarok. I don't know if we will.
Just hold your heart. We're going to come back and do that. Don't you
worry,
worry,
some
son.
of the podcasters haven't
We're coming back to watch the VOD. Time, son. Time.
Right. That's fine then. Right, you asked for words of wisdom. I had none. This is on you. This is on you.
You've always got words of wisdom. What's this? Blunderboy, give us some words of wisdom, mate.
Oh, with charger joypads.
There you go.
That's the same thing he says every week. That's not
and that's what makes it a word of wisdom.
It's a catchphrase. It's a catchphrase.
We will see you back for episode 96 on the 23rd of September. Say goodbye, you reprobates.
Goodbye, you reprobates.
See you next time, guys. Bye-bye.